today we're talking about the ways in which to attract more customers into your business. And perhaps you've been using the same method or the same, the same tactics for a little while and it's feeling a little stale. Today I wanted to talk about, just to give you a couple of different ideas, to throw a couple of ideas at you and give you the opportunity to think, okay, I could try that. That could be something new that I could give a go to see whether I can attract new customers online. Next week, we're going to be talking about offline stuff, but this week we'll be talking about online. So of course, the first thing that everybody thinks of is, Facebook advertising and social media advertising. And LinkedIn's really stepping into this space as well. If you have a B2B business that you're working with, or perhaps it's for you're wanting to build your own personal brand, then LinkedIn's doing great things. But Facebook advertising is kind of the go-to. And when I say Facebook, of course, I include Instagram as well, because they own Instagram too. And if that's what you've been doing for a little while, but perhaps you haven't been seeing the reach, perhaps it's getting a little bit more expensive, then here's some ideas of things that you can think about to attract new customers online that perhaps you haven't thought about, or that some of these things are things that I know and I go, oh, of course, we've been talking about this for 10 years, but I don't do it. I don't do it as often as I should be doing it. So have a think about some of these things. And if you're in the same boat as me where you go, yes, I know I should be doing that, but I haven't actually thought about it in the last little while, this is a great opportunity for you to take some notes and go and action some stuff this week. So I want you to start thinking firstly about your website, because that's, your billboard for your business. It's where people are going to come to find out, great things about you. I want you to think about optimizing it for search engines optimization, obviously using keywords, making sure that the content on your website has a lot of searchable terms. So the example I will use for Port Macquarie Performing Arts, that's the name of my dance studio. But we try and say dance classes in Port Macquarie, or Port Macquarie dance classes, or kids classes, kids dance. We try and say that a lot as part of the copy on our website, because we know that when people are searching for us, that's the terms that they're using. Dance classes, Port Macquarie, classes for kids, dance classes for kids, hip hop. Everyone loves to search hip hop. It's one of our biggest search terms. We don't teach hip hop. I mean, we do, but it's not our primary focus. It's not our primary offering, but people love to search for it. So I make sure that it's included wherever possible on our website. So if you haven't had a look at your website for a little while, I encourage you to have a look at it with some fresh eyes and try and picture, so many of us put together our website because we want it to be a showcase of us. Am I right? You go to your website and it's like, look at me, look what I do, look at all the great things I do. Whereas your website should really be talking to your customer and to the problem that your customer has. And we've talked about this so many times before. And because it is really, really important that we are making sure we're speaking to our customers' problems. So have a look at your website through fresh eyes and make sure that you can see what your customer is seeing. Make sure they can see themselves as part of that. You don't want to just be talking about how fabulous you are. You want to be talking to the people who are actually going to your website. So have a look at it and see if that is you. And if not, make some changes. Make some changes in order to suit that. And if you want to learn more about ways in which you should be talking to your customers rather than just talking about yourself as part of your marketing, then I encourage you to go back through the archives and have a look at past episodes of How to Run a Successful Business and Still Have a Life, because we talk about it a lot. We talk about making sure that you have the right message, that the right message is going out there to your customers. The episode published on May the 9th will walk you through that as well. And the one on June the 2nd, does your customer have a problem? That is definitely one that will identify this for you. You can find that at episode number 8. And as I said, we talked about it a lot in the last year or so. So have a look at it through fresh eyes and then make sure your keywords are optimized as well. Have you been blogging lately? Do you know that you should be blogging? Do you know the importance of making sure there's up-to-date content on your website? How much the algorithm loves it when you continually update? And if you haven't been getting into this, AI technology, and you haven't kind of been playing around as I have with the different things that you can do, I encourage you. It's as simple as going on Canva and using Canva AI. You can do things like type in 5 things that kids should learn from dance classes, and it just spits out, 5 dot points with all quite correct answers. And I don't know where it gets all this information from, obviously on the internet, but it brings together and collates information for you that you can then go off and use. So the days of sitting down for 2 hours and writing yourself a blog post are completely gone. And I'm not saying that you should use that AI technology and just copy and paste that and just be done with it. Of course, it needs some tweaking. It needs some, of your expert knowledge put in there as well. But don't think, oh gosh, I have to write another blog. Oh, this is going to be painful, because those days are well and truly gone. I might put together a little demo video and stick on my Instagram story for you if you haven't used Canva AI. It is pretty cool. And as I said, if you can think about the keywords, you can think about your customer's problem, you can think about ways in which to solve your customer's problem and put that into Canva AI to pump out some results for you, and you can turn that quickly into a blog post and update your website. If you can do that once a week, probably shouldn't take you too long, then you're really going to see the difference when it comes to your search engine optimization. People are going to start, your website is going to start appearing at the top of people's search, and that's exactly what you want. That's, you want to do it for as little effort as possible, but you want that, big bang for your buck. I encourage you as well, in order to attract new customers online. I'm not just talking about advertising here. I'm talking about just your consistent posting on social media, but you really think about using your social media strategically. In the same way that your website needs to be talking to your customer's problem, you also need to be talking to your customer's problem in terms of your social media posting. So don't just be jumping on there and saying, look at this new product, look how fantastic it is. You want to jump on and be talking and really getting to the heart of the concerns and the worries and the problems that your customers have. And so many businesses don't do that. So because, it's not the easiest option, is it? It's so much easier just to take a photo of a product in the store and go, ta-da, look at this. It's this price and you can get it at this store, and that's it. But what you want to do is you want to think strategically about your social media posting, and be making sure that at least once, twice, 3 times a week, you are posting things that are really speaking to your target audience. You want to make sure that you are on social media channels where your customers are, where your ideal customers are. So many businesses are like, no, I'm doing it all. Look, I'm everywhere. And, they're jumping on, they're on TikTok and they're on Instagram and they're on Facebook, but they're also on LinkedIn, and then they've got to be real, and it's just too much. And your customers are, not necessarily in all of those places. So really niche down into where your customers can be found, really figure out, where they're hanging out, where they're spending their time, and then put your effort and energy and focus and attention into that channel, even if it is just 1 or 2. Don't try and do absolutely everything at once. Don't try and be everything to everybody and be in all the places. Just really think, how can I focus in terms of my customers online? Where are they hanging out online? I'm going to go there. So once you've gone through and had a look at your website, once you've looked at it through your customer's eyes, made sure the messaging is really clear, that you're talking to your customer's problem, once you've fixed up all your keywords, then get stuck into writing some blog posts. And as I said, it's a lot easier now than it used to be. Have a play around with some of those tools and make sure you are on top of it. I encourage you to use your social media strategically and be the places that your customers are. And then finally, I encourage you to think strategically about your email marketing. And if you're not doing consistent email marketing to your customers, and I'm not saying selling, I'm not saying you're sending an email once a week that says, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. But if you're not emailing your customers to say, hey, this is some interesting information I found out, check out this research that we found, here's a, interesting way that you can look at this particular topic that has to do with my business. Oh, and by the way, you can also buy this product. Then you are really doing yourself and your customers a disservice. And whilst you may feel like everybody's not jumping in and reading everything, that those people who are super fans, those people who are following you and have added themselves to your newsletter for a reason, those people are, just waiting for the right thing to come along. They are sitting there literally, I sign up for many, probably too many email lists from places that make really nice bright colored dresses. And I will open their emails because I'm waiting for that perfect dress to jump out at me and for me to go, yes, I'm going to spend my hard-earned money on that. That you have customers that are on your email list that are waiting for just that from you. So please don't think that email is gone, that email is dead. Don't feel like you're bombarding your customers. I had a client yesterday that said, oh, I can't possibly send more emails because I'm just, they're sick of hearing from me. No, they're not. It takes 8 touch points in order for somebody to purchase from you or to start to know, like, and trust you. You may feel like your message is bombarding, but they might not even see it, or they may only see it once. So really hone in to the email list that you have. You've worked hard for it. I encourage you to use it, and I encourage you to use it strategically and consistently in order to be able to serve your customers. And then, of course, sell to them a little bit as well. The general rule is 80% of serving and 20% of selling. And I encourage you to lean into that. All right, that's my thoughts on attracting new customers online in February 2023. If you want to think about things that you can do to attract customers offline, then we're going to be talking about that in the next episode. If you love today's episode, then please take a photo on your phone, take a screenshot, stick it on your Insta story and tag me. I'm at Simply Stacey Morgan, or send me a DM and let me know what you'll be trying. Or if you start, if you're putting out some great content and some great social media marketing that has you really clearly speaking to your customer's problem, tag me. I would love to see it. That would be fabulous. All right, next week we're going to be talking about things offline. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.